Welcome back to ESPR Boxing. It is Valentine's Day, and I can't think of a better way to spend it than with Elliot Grigg talking about boxing. We are reacting to Chris Eubank Jr. Activating his rematch clause against Liam Smith. Obviously, he was defeated by Liam Smith soundly on January 21st. And yeah, the rematch is on pretty much. Elliot Grigg, what is your reaction to that?
Good. Well, I'm happy about that. Yeah, I am delighted about that. To be honest with you, I don't think there was any real way that it couldn't happen. In the sense that I feel like Eubank has to activate that rematch clause. I mean, I don't see where he goes other than into the rematch with Liam Smith. And for Liam Smith, you've stopped a guy convincingly. It's a big money fight still, big name out there. For me, it just makes perfect sense of both of them, to be quite honest.
Yeah, definitely. And where like how bit of an open question. How quickly do you think we can get this back on? I think both fights. I think Liam Smith's 34, Eubank's 33. I imagine both fighters want to get it on soonish. Obviously, they both have to go back into camp and whatever. We're not aware of We're not aware of any injuries. We're not 100% sure about that. It's February 14th now, as we mentioned, Valentine's Day. When do you think this can happen? How long do you think we have to wait? I think we know that Anfield's not an option for this, from what we've heard, for whatever reason. I imagine it will be back at the MEN Arena. Personally, that's where I think it'll be. But yeah, when do you think we can see this fight happen?
I mean, both guys are obviously like fit, aren't they? You don't see them balloon up in weight. So, I mean, I would assume that there'd be some sort of 8 to 10 week kind of camp anyway. But I think I'd still be a bit surprised, to be honest, if we saw it before May, just because I feel like Eubank obviously has been stopped convincingly. Like, might do him a bit better to have a bit of a break, before he comes into that camp. So, frankly, I would kind of happily see, start training around sort of March, April, have it sort of mid-May. That'd be something
Yeah.
that I'd quite like to see, frankly. I'd be surprised if it was before then, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, it's a big pay-per-view fight as well. Taylor Serrano 2 is on May 20th. So I don't know if it would want to be the weekend before, the weekend after that. Maybe, maybe not. And obviously we don't know what's happening in June yet, but we'll see. Could be one of the biggest fights that we could see this summer. Going back to the first fight, Elliot, why do you think there was an issue with Chris Eubank Jr. in terms of, do you think he kind of struggled with the weight, or he was taking Liam Smith too lightly, or do you think he just got beat? Simple as that. He got caught with a barrage of punches and got stopped. Like, the question is, yeah, is what is the reason for his defeat? Do you think?
I mean, I'm leaning mostly towards the latter of those. I think you just got to say you got beat. I mean, to be perfectly honest, the weight was a fair weight limit for both those guys. Like Liam Smith coming up in weight, and I feel like you couldn't boil Chris Eubank down further, but equally you couldn't expect Liam Smith to come up further.
Yeah,
Liam Smith's not going to fight a super middleweight, for example. He shouldn't be expected to do that. The only thing I would say, caveat that though, with the weight issue, is more the sense of, has Eubank Jr. lost something? He's trying to boil himself down for Conor Ben. Like, is that kind of weight cut taking something away from him rather than this Liam Smith weight cut? But equally, I feel like coming out after the fight and sort of blaming it on that is a bit rich. But if we do see in the second fight something similar happen, we go, hold on a second, like Kushima Jr. is known for having quite a durable chin
yeah,
and being a
yeah,
certain way, and he's just been flattened again by Liam Smith. Then you can maybe sit there and go, okay, maybe we look back and then maybe that weight cut for Conor Ben has taken something sort of permanently away from him, frankly. Um, when it comes to taking him lightly, it's hard to say in a way because I feel like Chris Eubank is not one of those guys. It doesn't strike me as a fighter that takes boxing lightly, always in shape, for example. Um, I mean, the thing I would say maybe took him lightly in the sense that, he's going through all that KFC nonsense and doing a bit of that, but equally that could just be kind of marketing. So I think maybe he overlooked it in the sense that he thought, I'm a bigger man here. And, the guy I'm fighting was fighting Ted Cheeseman not too long ago, and like Sam Eggington, whatever. Sorry. So it's like you're sitting there going, I should beat this guy. I should beat him. I've got the physical attributes to beat him. So maybe there's a sort of slight element of that, but frankly, I think you've got to just look at himself and go, I got beaten. I got caught. It can happen. I mean, they say it usually happens in heavyweight boxing. You get caught one punch, whatever, but it can happen in any level. You get caught on the temple, you get caught on the chin, whatever flush.
yeah.
These guys are trained, obviously, to hit people hard on targeted zones. So it can happen. I think he's just got to hold his hands up and go, I was beaten. And if it happens again, maybe talk about weight, but go straight into the rematch. Forget excuses. Forget being elbowed. Forget any of that nonsense, and just dedicate yourself. My bigger worry, frankly, for Chris Eubank would be how he's going to approach this style wise, and what's going on with him and Roy Jones, frankly, and how he's going to tackle it, frankly.
Yeah, lots to uncover, which we will do. Final thing for me, Elliot, I've seen Boxer about an hour ago put out a poll basically saying who's going to win. 71% of people are picking Liam Smith to win the rematch. I'm not asking for a prediction. What I'm going to say is that I think a lot of people will think that because of what happened, it's a foregone conclusion, or that Liam Smith will win, or Liam Smith is a heavy favourite to win. How do you see it?
But all bets are off as far as I'm concerned after the first one. I saw it as like Liam Smith points or Eubank Jr. KO or points. I just didn't see there wasn't even in my mind Liam Smith would KO Chris Eubank, frankly. So having seen that happen and how destructive that was, I almost feel like I want to still kind of say Chris Eubank on points, but I kind of feel like I can't do it because like it would almost be going against all the evidence that we've seen. But I still think Chris Eubank sort of turns up because we've seen flashes of when he fought Williams, like in the early stages of that fight, what he can do. We've seen flashes of it. He just didn't seem to have the tactics right, or only got caught, frankly. So I'm still leaning towards Chris Eubank, but frankly, that's more probably just like, I don't know, some sort of vestige of like loyalty rather than anything based on evidence. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Liam Smith beat him again either. And is that fence sitting? Maybe. But at the same time, yeah, I can't really bet against him, but I'd like to see Chris Eubank Jr. win.
Yeah, good stuff. All right, we'll leave things there. Chris Eubank Jr. has officially activated his rematch clause against Liam Smith. They will face off in a rematch. We're hoping May, June time. Hope we're not here in kind of May, June time thinking when's this fight going to happen. So yeah, hopefully it'll happen soon. Elliot Grigg, thank you very much, and I'll speak to you soon.
Thank you very much, and yeah, happy Valentine's Day to the viewers. Happy Valentine's Day to you, sir. Obviously, we're united in names rather than as well as the SPL partnership. Yeah, thank you guys for watching, and yeah, hopefully it'll be a good fight when it does happen.
Great, see you soon.